Hello, everyone. How are you? Today's March 31st, last day of the month, one day prior to April Fools. Today I'm honoring the farmers because of food delivery, SNAP food delivery. I got the Lache tractor sales here. They've been serving the community. I'm not sure where they're located, but they've been serving the community since 1948. This is one of my father-in-law's hats. I inherited it. Anyway, let's get right down to business. Today, I want to talk to you about what works, what doesn't work, just kind of some tips and so forth. And these are things I've learned over the last 27 odd years. And first thing I want to start off with is what I call don't get married on the first date. And what I mean by that is I see a lot of people that get started and they want to work from home and whatever, and they in effect do what I call trying to get married on the first date. In other words, there might be 6 or 7 or 8 or 9 steps to getting something done, a sale done or so forth. But what they want to do is skip the first 8. It's kind of like a date. Picture it like a date. You ask a girl out or whatever, and first thing you got to do is come up with the nerve to ask her out. That's like step 1. What are you going to say to her to influence her to say yes? And then think about, okay, what are you going to talk about? Have you prepared that? Are you going to talk about yourself, or are you going to talk about her? If you just end up, what a lot of people do, and I've done in the past, is because you don't know what else to talk about, you start talking about yourself. If you want to be boring, just talk about yourself. Quickest way to be boring is to constantly talk about yourself. Unless you're some world famous adventurer who's traveled the Nile, the Amazon, climbed Mount Everest, traversed across Antarctica, hunted, went on whaling expeditions in the Pacific. You probably aren't interesting just to talk about yourself all the time, and even then. But if you talk about the other person, so get a little bit off, kind of on the subject, but on the subject. So when you're actually conversing with somebody, what you want to do is find out what they're kind of looking for. So, but in this business, think about that. Think about the steps. When you're like, for example, you contact a restaurant and so forth. You got to think about what do you want them to do? What is the next step? Like with a date, you're asking, okay, what is the next step? Oh, in a date, it might be, okay, getting a second date, maybe a third date, whatever. Maybe you don't end up liking her, so that could be in this business too, where you contact somebody and after you talk to them a little bit, you say, I don't know if I want to work with this person. But anyway, but you're thinking about, okay, what would I like them to do? What would I like the restaurant to do? Well, what you'd like them to do ultimately is to sign up and start producing a gazillion orders a day for you. But that, if we think in terms of that, we're thinking in terms of getting married on the first date. So what we want to do is, okay, what's the first step we want them to do? We want them to watch a video. We want them to watch a video. One of the best things we can do, and the best ways we can get them to do that is we want to send it to them. We want to message them, but we want to send them, phone them, and let them know that we sent them a message, and alert them to that message, so that when they have a little bit of free time, that they can watch that message and see how we can benefit them in that regard. So that's what we want to do, and by preparing that, that's what works best is leaving them a message and by the phone to let them know we sent them an email or a message somehow. Maybe it was through Facebook or whatever. And so those are the things that we want to do. In other words, think in those terms. The other thing that I want to talk about that's so important is just getting started. And the number one thing to getting started is getting started. It's kind of like people say the every journey starts with the first step, which seems pretty obvious, pretty elementary that if you go somewhere, you got to start with the first step. But in a business, too often people never take the first step. And what I mean by the first step is you don't take the first step, and this is key. You don't take the first step until you actually take a step of doing things that produce results. Okay? You got to understand what produces results in this business. Organizing your desk may be helpful, but it doesn't produce results. Okay? Writing a list, or thinking about certain things. The things that produce the results you got to be thinking in terms of is basically making contacts with the restaurants, contacts with other people who may be interested in helping you contact restaurants. Because one of the things you kind of want to do is, try to duplicate yourself, get 3 or 4 other people that want to do what you're doing too. So now you're multiplying your efforts, you're multiplying your productive results. So getting started really is what are you doing to make contacts with the restaurants? And it doesn't really matter. Are you phoning them? Are you messaging them? Whatever certain things will work better, but at the very least, you got to be doing something. And every day, this is key. Every day, you want to do something. And what I found over the years is you want to get to the point where you almost feel guilty if you don't do something that day to increase your business. Now, if you're a person of faith and you don't believe in working on Sunday or whatever, then take the day off. But you want to be doing something every day. You don't want to get in the habit of, I'll do something tomorrow, I'll do something the next day. If during the week you don't feel guilty for not doing something, then something's not right. You really want to get to the habit of, I got to do something today. I got to contact somebody today. I got to email somebody today, make a contact, whatever. So anyway, that's so important. I'll let you go now. Show us some love, like this video, subscribe, and contact us below. You can sign up, join, and let's go do something with Snap Deliver. This thing is absolutely incredible. God bless you. Have a great day. Bye now.